Hello, my seventh graders. How are you? This is my computer screen, but I didn't make the Screencastify to show you my computer screen because you've seen that before when I project it up on the smartboard. So what we are going to look at today is absolute value because we're going to get into lesson 4.1, which has to deal with absolute value. That's one of the things that it is. So you might be saying, what does absolute value mean? And that's a very good question. So we're going to go through that. And I'm going to tell you that being the dork that I am, I'm very excited about this Screencastify because this is the first time I've done one where I kind of move around different screens and show you different things and how to do them. So please allow me to be a dork and go through this. So absolute value is actually very, very easy. But if we don't talk about it, then we won't know how easy it is. So let's talk about it. So you can see these weird looking, well, not really weird looking, they're just straight bars around the numbers. They're kind of like hugging the numbers, like hug, 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 hug. They're hugging the 5, they're hugging the negative 13. But that's the important point. They're hugging positive numbers and they're hugging negative numbers. So that's very important for absolute value. Why do you ask? Because absolute value is always positive. So you might be saying, what is he talking about? But that's a good thing because a lot of people say that when I talk about stuff. So let me be a little bit clearer. We're going to go over these first 2 rows of questions. And I think by that point, you guys are super, super smart. So you'll get it by that point. And then I'll tell you what your assignment is for today. So we have absolute value of 5, absolute value of negative 13, absolute value of 2, absolute value of negative 13, absolute value of 7, absolute value of negative 4. We're going to do that again, and this time I want you to repeat after me, and I want you to scream it really loud. So this way, if there's anybody at home sleeping, you'll wake them up, and they'll get really, really mad at you. But I won't be there to see it, so it won't be as funny to me, but I want you to do it anyway. So let's try it, and remember, scream as loud as you can. Absolute value of 5, absolute value of 13, absolute value of 2, absolute value of negative 11, absolute value of 7, absolute value of negative 4. Did you scream it? I hope so, because that would be super cool. But in all seriousness, let's go over these first 6 problems. So problem 1 is the absolute value of 5. The absolute value of 5 is very simply 5, because 5 is worth 5. Absolute value of negative 13. Now, you might think the answer is negative 13, but that's not correct. The absolute value is 13. So whether a number is positive or negative, its absolute value is positive. To kind of clear that up for you, if I have $5 in my wallet, that's a very positive thing. I have $5, which is positive. But if I owe somebody $13, that's negative 13. So when I have $13, I'd have to give it to somebody else, but I'm still giving them $13. So that although it's a negative because I have to pay them, it's still worth $13. So whether absolute value has a positive or a negative number inside, it's always going to give you a positive answer. So absolute value of 5 is 5. Absolute value of negative 13 is 13. Absolute value of 2 is, I heard someone say 2, and they were correct. Good job. Now we move on. Absolute value of negative 11. Oh, you weren't tricked because you said 11. Very good, you. You are smart as anything. Absolute value of 7. What is it? 7 is correct. You are a genius. And absolute value of negative 4 is 4. So there you go. So no matter what, whether it's a negative or a positive number inside, your absolute value is always going to be positive. So what your assignment is going to be today is to work through this worksheet and this worksheet. And again, it's just a repeat of those problems. And then I like this third worksheet because it also throws in some decimals. But don't get tricked because there's decimal numbers are still numbers. So, for example, the absolute value of 11 is 11. You're probably saying by this point, duh, Miss Lee, we knew that. But the absolute value of negative 36.8 is, if you said 36.8, 0.8. You were correct. So you're also going to do this sheet as well. And there's a separate Google Doc posted for you for worksheet 1, 2, and 3. And you're just going to type your answers onto that document. And then what I would like you to do, just for the heck of it, is I'm going to post this on a separate link too. And it says, you think you're so smart, then try this absolute value game buster. No, that is not one of my ex-girlfriends. That's just a picture of some old lady I found online. And you're going to click onto this, and you might have to enable Adobe Flash. I clicked on this earlier, so I don't think I have to anymore. Oh, I do. Click to enable Adobe Flash. So, you know what? It's not letting me do it. Oh, allow. Okay. There we go. I didn't think it was because I was in Screencastify. So let's see if this comes up. It does. Okay, good. So I'll show you how to play this game. Here's the tricky thing, though. It looks like you have to click it twice because there's a submit button further down. So absolute value of what equals 5? The answer is 5. But watch, when I click off it, it's still there. So click it again. You have to click it twice and then hit submit. And then it makes that nice. And then absolute value, which would be 4, would have obviously be 4. And then click it twice because for some reason there's a glitch in this game. And then click submit. And what's it going to say? Exactly. So you're going to try that game too. And go through however many times you feel like doing that. So those are your assignments today. 1, 2, and 3. And you will also work on this one. Tomorrow, we're going to get into absolute value where it's actually some problems where you have to add and or. Oh, I thought there were some subtract ones on here. But I was wrong. Yay. I like when I'm wrong because it's fun. Okay, so that'll be tomorrow, though. Not today. So today you're just doing those 3 assignments. I hope that you have yourself not a merry little Christmas, but a very happy day. And I will talk to you guys soon.